Start Audacity.
Hey everybody, what's up?
Okay.
Hmm.
Uno.
What's today?
Today's
23rd?
of September. 2013. You tell me about Pine Sol.
Do you know it? I'm a sassy black woman, apparently.
Okay, go.
Hello everybody, and welcome to FourCredits Podcast for September 23rd, 2013.
September!
Moving microphones.
Angry about September.
September makes... I don't really like September
September's
that much.
over, though, pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
we got, like, what, 1 week left?
Yeah, we got another week left.
And then it's October, the year of scary things and Halloween.
The year? October
Alright.
is a year?
The month, sorry.
I love the year of October. Oh my god.
It's like the year of Luigi.
By the way, you totally left this just up on the main
I know.
screen. So go ahead and
I can
change
change
the...
it real quick.
Yeah. You can... Unprofessionals here, don't worry. Unprofessionals. Because we're allowed to, you know... Why didn't you just minimize the other...
I can't see, that's why.
Okay, go down,
Where
go
does
down,
the
go
chat
to the left,
go?
go to the left, go to the left, go to the left.
Right,
Click it.
right here.
There we go. Go to the right, go to the right. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't see, your chest is in the way. And by chest, I mean your Borderlands boot chest.
Oh, not my
your
destiny.
Not your pecs. No.
Pectoral.
Not your pectorals. Nor your abdominals.
Because it wasn't my left bicep. I really hope someone out there understands that.
I'm sure somebody, even though no one's watching.
You know, that's weird though. Sometimes we have people that are watching and that says 0. So don't always trust that.
I guess that's
don't
true,
always
huh?
trust that. It is not always accurate.
Maybe it's 2 Chainz and feds are watching. I don't know. That's a 2 Chainz song. I'm a look fresh.
No, that does not mean start singing it. That's just a nod of disapproval.
Feds watching.
So, anyways, yes, we decided to drink a little bit tonight, and we will be, we don't have stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got nothing to do with my life till Wednesday, so.
I hope I have something going on before Wednesday. I don't know, we'll find out. I do have bowling tomorrow night, but
You do.
and then maybe a new phone tomorrow.
Yeah. You can get that one with camera on the back.
I want it.
I mean, all phones pretty much have cameras on the back.
Yes,
I mean, the one that looks like it's a camera on the back.
The best camera currently on.
41 megapixels, which the first time I saw the ad, I thought that was a typo. I'm like, no.
It must be 14.
That's a really big number, yeah.
Dude, no. This thing is crazy. Okay, I went into the store to test it out. I was a non-believer. I was like, okay, I'm probably going to take a picture with it. It's not going to be a very good picture. Dude, I took a picture of shit, and then, like, okay, no, because it's right next to a parking lot. And so I took a picture of the parking lot from inside the store, and then I zoomed in and was able to read the license plates on cars when I zoomed in.
That's pretty intense.
How intense is that?
Pretty good.
Oh, dude, that would take such good photos. Intense.
Speaking of, it would. Speaking of cameras, I saw something I'd never seen before at work. Somebody was taking a picture of something with their 3DS, presumably a 3-dimensional picture, in public, and I was like, "Huh, that's the first time I've ever seen somebody do that in public."
That is a very specific thing in public.
Yeah, I mean, everybody does that when you open
private.
up your 3DS for the first time and take a picture.
That too,
right?
sure.
But I'm saying,
I meant other stuff.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I would 3D porn, dude.
It exists, I'm sure, but
yeah, I wonder, does it?
I've
never heard of it.
I bet it does. We just don't know because we don't have anything that could play 3D besides your 3DS. So maybe on your 3DS, look up some 3D porn, report back. Tell us about 3D porn. Well, if it's any good. It's the future right there.
Or is it the present?
Maybe.
Technically, if I'm looking at it, it can't be the future.
Well, what about Back to the Future if you're looking at it?
Because they themselves are not in the future because they are from the past. So they actually are seeing the future because they are from the past.
Right.
See, now if we go into the future and find 3D porn, then that's the future. But if we see it right now, it's not the future, it's the present.
Sure. Hello. I don't think we recognize you.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the show.
Yes. Maybe we should drink every time the audience says something.
That's a good idea. We met you at the Microsoft store.
Oh, hey, what's up? Oh.
GTA launch.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. And it'll be a fun show, I'm sure. Well, now we actually have to get our act together. There's somebody watching. Let's get let's get this rolling. So let's start with what we usually start with, what we've been doing / playing for the week. Let's start with you. Or do you want me to start? I can start if you want.
I can go first. But
let's fight.
No.
You can go first.
Okay.
What have you been doing / playing?
Well,
besides cranberry juice right now.
I've actually been playing quite a bit of GTA 5. Okay. I'm not quite set to give a review on that yet because there is quite a bit to that game.
It's like 39 more hours in that game, I swear.
Yeah. So not quite ready to give a review for that one yet, but it's an interesting game. Obviously, if you've played GTA games before, you're gonna enjoy this game. I don't know. The launch party was actually a lot of fun at the Microsoft store. Yeah. The best part was after 5 minutes of people playing the game, somebody ended up in the strip club because
that might as well be like a thing on the back of the box. ETA 5 minutes till strip club.
It took me a little longer to find one.
Really? Yeah. When you actually played it?
Yeah, when I actually played it. Well, then again, maybe it's because I actually played the beginning of the storyline instead of just jumping in and saying, where's the strip club?
Open world it.
Yeah. Which I guess most people are doing. I'm hearing a lot of news that people aren't really playing the story. They're just sort of driving around.
Well, that's the case with a lot of GTAs. People are very binary, where it's either like, well, I'm going to do this for the story, or I'm going to just do this for the GTA nonsense. Which I've always been more about, I'm going to do the story first, because that stuff can come later when I'm bored of the story.
Yeah, well, I myself, I like to just wander around and do whatever, but I found myself just doing the missions. And which was fun. I don't know, the strip club was kind of boring.
Did you do, Did you do that? Since we played...
It was weird. Okay, I actually haven't played much of a GTA game before.
Yeah.
I played San Andreas way back when, and I only played like 10 minutes of GTA 4.
Yeah.
Is this the same as GTA 4? You played that game.
Yeah.
When you go to a strip club, you get a lap dance, and you have to try to like impress the stripper with like a meter and fill it up.
Yeah.
And then it gives you an option, go home with the stripper or something.
Some of that is new. The going home with stripper and dating the stripper.
Okay, well, I said, okay, I did all that crap because there was a meter, and I said to myself, okay, I must fill the meter. I must do that because it is implemented in the game.
I was listening to something today where they were talking about how apparently some of that stuff actually plays into something that happens in the game later, where there's a flashback that one of the characters have, and it goes over stuff that he's done, and if you've done some not so good things in the course of your gameplay, it'll be addressed during this part. The guy who's talking, though, hadn't done any of that stuff. He didn't date any of the strippers. He hadn't done anything inappropriate, really. And so he didn't get much there. But he was saying, I bet, though, if you were one of those players who like took a bunch of strippers home and beat up a bunch of people you weren't supposed to beat up, then maybe you would get a different experience there.
Well, I got the meter full. And then
if you know what you mean. Right. Okay, keep going.
And then I chose the option to go home with her.
Right.
And she said no.
Ha! So much for the meter.
So I mean, okay, fine.
I don't know how I feel about this mechanic. Although, I think it's really cool that she can say no. That's pretty awesome.
I think it's interesting that there is, like, nudity in the game. Like,
yeah.
Because wasn't that sort of a thing that was banned in, like, different games where the secret coffee shop or some crap?
It's funny. I saw a gaff thread that's exactly what you're talking about.
Hey, what's up? Yo. Whoa, blowing up. What's up, everybody?
Whoa, we got all sorts of people we don't recognize.
Hey, that's cool.
Welcome to the show, guys. Feel free to introduce yourself. So we're talking, in case you guys need to catch up, we're talking about GTA 5. But yeah, what I was going to say was, man.
Okay, we were talking about previous games with the coffee shop, how that was sort of how
there was a gaff thread about this where somebody was actually asking about basically being like, what? I have no idea what they're talking about.
Don't worry about it.
They were talking about how their difference is this time is that, well, one, time has changed, or time has passed. So some of the stuff that may have been previously, like, totally okay is now totally okay, whether it was a problem before. So there's some of that, but there's also the fact that in that thing you're talking about, the hot coffee mod for San Andreas,
Yeah.
the thing with that was it was simulated sex. So this is a little different.
It was a little more.
Yeah, and so it's a combination of two things. It's a combination of the video games evolving and people getting more okay with things over time, as opposed to 2003, 10 years ago. You know?
Well, and that's also
2005.
being said, it's not just the video game industry.
Yeah.
As you can tell in the movie industry as well, stuff like nudity is becoming a norm.
It's become more common, for sure.
Like it's almost in an action film or something, you have to have like some girl just randomly, okay, there's her boobs.
It's getting more common. And also, GTA is an interesting case because they're an equal opportunity nude game. Have you run into the male genitalia yet?
No.
There's male genitalia.
There is?
Yes, at some point. I've only read about this. Well, there was before. There's precedent for this in one of the downloadable content. We got an ew for male genitalia. In one of the downloadable content expansions for GTA 4, Ballad of Gay Tony, I think.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
There was male genitalia.
Well, the name of the game, or the name of the DLC would describe that you may run into that.
And it's interesting because at the time there was kind of a big deal about it in the gaming press, whereas this time everybody's like, some guy shows his junk at some point.
Yeah, I mean,
so
sure, why
it's a
not?
combination of those three things. It's like there's a precedent for it in the GTA series. There's tastes have changed, and it's not simulated sex this time.
And I do actually have to revert back to my old statement of the movie industry has changed. I should say it has changed back. Because there was a time in the 70s and early 80s where like a shit ton of movies just, had boobs in it because that's what brought them, people to the theater. Was somebody saw it and went, hey, dude, there's boobs in here. And then the internet came along.
Hey, dude, there's boobs in here.
Then the internet came along a little more pronounced and it was available everywhere. And that sort of disappeared from the industry for a long time.
Yeah.
I think the first real reoccurrence of it was in Titanic.
Oh yeah, that was very like, this is kind of random. Just kind of put it in here.
Yeah, just like, sure, why not? But I've noticed in movies these days that's become like a big thing. Is because they can get away with it, they do.
But yeah, I mean, so besides the strip club stuff, how are you feeling so far about how much you've played?
Well, I'm a little mixed on it so far because everyone on the internet is talking about how beautiful the game looks, and they're all there's actually like gaffes on it saying, is this a real photo or is this from GTA 5?
Yeah, I've seen some of that, yeah.
And I don't agree with it because I don't think GTA 5 looks that great. There have been many other games that looked much better than it. I think Black Ops 2 looked more realistic than this game.
I think there are moments where it looks really good. I mean, I thought the same thing of GTA 4 when GTA 4 came out. I think Rockstar is really good at their lighting engine. I think some of the lighting in the game looks fantastic and strikingly real, some of the stuff they can do. Also,
I'm not hating on GTA 5. I am more hating on the fact that everyone is saying it's so impressive when it's not as impressive.
Well, here's the thing, is I think this affects probably us more than other people because we're more
critical?
Well, not just that, but more like we've seen a lot of next-gen stuff.
Correct.
Both screenshots on the internet, also
and
in
when
person at GameStop
when we went to
Festival.
GameStop Expo, not Festival, Expo.
So, yeah, GameStop Expo. So it's like, we're going to be a little more biased.
Yes.
I love Katamari Damacy.
I
love Viva Pinata. Sorry.
Great
games I like.
Great games.
No, but that's the thing, though, is we might be a little more biased because we've had pretty much front row views for these next-gen games. So there might be just a little bit part of us that's like, man, this stuff doesn't look quite as good anymore.
Well,
we know what the future looks like.
And then we've already been spoiled with next-gen racing games.
Yes,
we've already seen those. And
I thought the cars actually were some of the best-looking stuff in GTA 5 so far.
Okay.
I've been really impressed with the cars.
Fair enough. They are really, really pretty. I don't really like the controlling. I find
The
myself...
car stuff?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. What car, because different cars drive differently. When
They do.
You first do that first mission and you steal the sports car. It's very squirrely because it's a sports car. But I noticed when I got into the van later, it actually...
You drove a van?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like for story base, or just you decided to hop in a van?
No, for the story mission.
Which one?
Did you play that one where you're walking the dog and then you get into the van?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
You have to chase down the guy on the motorcycle?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Hey, well, did you do the part when you go into the you get set up or whatever? You meet the guy up in the room of the building, and then he.
No, I didn't get that far.
Oh. There's a part where I just kept getting like lost.
Yeah.
And it was my own fault. I couldn't like make a jump, and then my other AI people went ahead, and so I wasn't sure where they went really. So that was sort of my fault, and I sort of failed the mission, and then I had to restart from a checkpoint, and everything was okay. But
yeah, I didn't get it quite that far. But I mean, yeah, like back to what I was saying about how it looks. Like I think they're really good with the lighting engine. I thought the cars looked really good. Also, I think it's interesting how accurate their depiction of this fake Los Angeles is, because at one point, so I interned in Santa Monica for a while, and a couple times they had me doing some errands where I had to drive.
Did you actually locate some places where you had driven?
Not exactly.
But similar.
But it evoked a feeling in me at some point where I was driving off the freeway off of one of these exits, right? And I got to the end of a street with all these buildings that looked really familiar, and I'm like, oh my god! And then there's something that looks like a movie studio in front of you, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the Warner lot. Oh my god, I drove down here on my internship. I drove down there and made a right, and I literally, in the video game, drove down there and made a right.
You didn't drive through it?
No, I was going somewhere. It was GPS
this wasn't in the very beginning?
No.
Oh, okay. This was in the very beginning when you actually drive through it and crap. And...
I did that as well, but actually, that looked more like the Sony lot, which I've also been on. So that was also kind of weird. It's like, hey, this looks like the Sony lot. So anyways, and so then I got to a point where I was on the freeway passing the essentially what is the fictional version of the LA skyline. And I looked like, oh man, this looks exactly like it does when you're on the freeway in real life, complete with the U.S. bank.
Dude, you're talking about freeways. I totally jumped onto the freeway. I went off of the street, hit a ramp, and in my head I just went, hit that big ramp, Fitty, because 50 Cent bots. It sort of has that in my. It's like.
Forever we associate big ramps with 50 Cent.
You have to. When you hit a ramp in a car, you hit that big ramp.
And helicopters.
50. Yeah, I know, right?
Evil helicopter.
Anyways, I did that, and I ended up on the freeway driving the wrong direction, and I was doing the whole, swerving through vehicles shit.
Oh, man.
And some idiot in front of me totally, turned into me and just, destroyed my car. That was fantastic.
Another thing I noticed playing this game is they're a lot more forgiving about when the cops notice you than they were in GTA 4. Yeah. I got away with running into so many darn people and cars and signs, and I didn't get a single star.
I've hit one person.
And got a star?
No, in the entire game so far.
I only hit
one pedestrian.
I think I only hit one pedestrian, but I hit a bunch of signs.
And it was her fault. She was in the crosswalk, and I was going through the light.
Oh, it's her fault.
Okay. Also, there was a cop stopped at a light, and I sped between it and another car and went through the red light, and the cop didn't start chasing me.
Oh.
I think that's a problem with the AI in the game.
They don't notice when you're breaking traffic laws.
They don't notice that. I mean, if they did notice that, it'd be a really different game. You'd have to actually drive normally.
I think over the course of the GTA series, I think they've moved that needle where it's where before it was oh man, you have to be a perfect citizen for the cops not to notice you. Where every installment now is getting harder and harder
worse
to get cops on you because they realized, hey, to make this a more fun game, you can't have the cops on your butt all the time. That's just realistic. You have to balance it between what would be fun for the player and what would be
challenging. Well, and also, that being said, I found out the easiest way to escape the police is to jump off a bridge or something.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're just, set.
Yeah.
You just sit there, and they don't come after you.
Cool.
Because, I don't know, they just don't.
Good to know.
Or go to the train station.
I'll remember this.
They don't do that.
Train station?
They
don't know what the train station is?
Apparently not. They just
Oh, man. Now I'm kind of I wonder. Last time I was in LA, I walked from Union Station down to the park that's around the corner. I wonder if I can do that in GTA 5. Like, I wonder if I could walk the same pathway down there. I wonder how accurate its depiction of LA.
That is a
But
good
yeah,
question.
I'm kind of thinking of that now. I mean, before with GTA 4, I haven't been to New York that often, so I don't know how accurate Liberty City was. But this time, this is ground I'm familiar with, and so I'm definitely going to try playing around with that stuff.
And I actually have to change my opinion on something that I said a long time ago.
A long time ago. Okay.
Retcon. How video games do not affect you. That's not true.
When you were driving, were you thinking
when
about Grand Theft Auto?
When I was driving, I found myself driving a little more recklessly than I normally do. And also, I found myself thinking that I could just go in between those two cars there and go through the light because there's enough space for my car to fit.
God.
Of course, I didn't do that.
Of course you didn't.
I didn't do that, but...
oh no.
I was driving recklessly and crap.
How many stars did you get in real life? Real life stars.
In real life, I almost started stars because... I swerved in front of this car and sped up, and then the next light there was a cop waiting at the turn light. He didn't see, so I was good. But I get the same reaction when I go to a Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah. No, you've told me this before.
Afterwards, I always drive home
fast.
racing like everyone else that went to go see the movie.
Because why not? Because you all just got out of the Fast and Furious.
Because we all just got out of Fast and Furious. We all must drive faster than speed.
No, you didn't get out of Fast and Furious. Playing faster than speed. You got out of fast.
Okay, most people don't understand that reference at all because most people haven't played the game. And even we haven't played the game. But
that's accurate.
One time we were at a movie theater and they had an arcade game that neither of us had ever heard of.
No.
It was a racing game called Faster Than Speed.
Faster Than Speed.
And we sort of just wondered what the hell that meant.
Still one of the best names.
And then just didn't care, but it is like the best racing name ever for a game. Mm-hmm. Just for a racing game, just faster.
It's pretty fast.
Speed.
I don't know.
Oh, dude.
I don't know.
Speed
is pretty fast.
I do wonder though if it is faster than F-Zero or not.
I don't know. Is it faster than Diddy Kong Racing though? That is a question that needs to be answered for our chat here, because they're apparently just naming games they like at this point.
Because games that are good, let's just
keep going, guys. Keep going. Have fun.
Mario
Name some
Party
more games
2.
that you like. You know what I like? I like Super Hot. I'm going to talk about Super Hot
Go ahead,
now,
because that's for people that drink to get drunk and smoke to get high.
No, that's Braid.
Oh, okay.
According to
this is the Braid
Soulja
Shooter.
Boy.
Okay, this is the Braid Shooter. I'm sorry. My bad.
So yeah, I'm just assuming you're done because pretty much that's all you played, right? Besides GTA.
Besides GTA.
And real life card games.
Oddly enough, I went back to play Modern Warfare 3.
Okay. With people, I assume?
Just online, just
by yourself.
For fun.
Getting ready for ghosts. We have some passionate responses to Modern Warfare 3.
Okay. Just to say something, I do hate Modern Warfare 3 as well.
I don't think it's fair to say you hate it. I just don't like it as much as the previous games.
Fine.
Here.
I do not like the multiplayer in Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, great. Black Ops 2 multiplayer, great. Modern Warfare 3, no.
So what brought you back to Modern Warfare 3? Is it your achievement hunt that you've been doing lately?
That and a buddy of mine happened to be on playing it, so I was trying to join him and I was having a problem with Xbox Live again.
I like the way this person thinks on the chat here. I only like games I'm good at. That's a solid opinion.
I'm gonna agree with that.
I don't, because I like a lot of games I'm no good at.
But unfortunately,
I like Modern Warfare a lot.
Yeah, see, I'm a bit of a douchebag. Sometimes I'll admit to that crap. I'm good at just like every game. Okay, no, I'll take that back.
I'm good at everything.
I'll take that. Sports games I do not like. I'll do it in real life, but sports video games I'm not good at. And soccer. I just don't like soccer all around.
Just soccer in general.
Just soccer in general. The whole game, you're running back and forth, and a good game is 1-0.
We apologize to our international crowd if there's any international people.
Or America.
Some people like American soccer, I guess. Maybe some people. FIFA comes out next week.
We'll
this
talk about
week.
that later, but yes.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We'll get into the new releases later.
So, besides that, you got anything? Besides Modern Warfare?
I downloaded Bioshock 2 for PC.
Why?
Because apparently you can get achievements in that game on top of the ones for the Xbox 360.
Of course you can. You know what you should do then is you should just jump right into Minerva's Den then just play that. Because I heard that's good.
You know what's funny? I played that on Xbox 360 and didn't complete it. Because it is a horde mode. And Bioshock Infinite, their first thing, was a horde mode as well.
Yeah.
And I haven't completed that either.
Well, the Minerva's Den stuff, I guess, has a story at some point and does evolve.
Okay, but from what I played, it felt very horde-ish.
Keep on it. Maybe it gets better.
I don't know. We'll see.
Because I definitely want to try it.
I don't like that.
There you go. Okay, Infinite.
Infinite, great game, but the
waiting on that DLC. That's what I want to play.
No, I'm waiting for some good DLC.
The story stuff that they're going to do with stuff where you play as
Elizabeth. That's what I wanted.
Really
that's what I wanted.
It's coming.
No. I'm saying I expected all the DLC for that game to be entering into an alternative dimension sort of thing, going through. Okay, wait. Spoiler alert.
No.
Spoiler alert.
Should we? No, I don't.
If
think we should
you
do
haven't
this.
played the end of Bioshock Infinite,
I don't think we should do this. Let's not spoil it.
At the end, fine. Well. No, screw it. At the end of the game, there's a bunch of doors entering into different realities, but all mixed into the same one. It's really weird, but at the same time, they could have just made for the DLC just hopping into another world-ish or another outcome and just sort of like gone.
We knew this was going to happen because when the game came out, Ken Levine said straight up, here's what the DLC plans we have. There's going to be this many story stuff, and there's going to be this many not story stuff. And he said that probably the first one we'd get wouldn't be story content. Sure enough, first one we got wouldn't be story. Isn't story content?
I don't like that.
Well, get the story content though. It's coming. It's on the way. It's being made. That's the thing. He didn't want. He wanted to on purpose start development on the DLC after the game shipped.
Mm-hmm. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because that means you get the game out faster because you finish the story mode. And you finish, just the normal game on disc content. You ship that out, then you work on it. Not you work on the content and then you work on the DLC and try to ship it out. It's just that game takes longer to get out.
Yeah. Reading this interesting. I guess we're back on the subject of multiplayer games, playing stuff you like as opposed to stuff you don't, or stuff you're good at as opposed to stuff you don't. We have If I Cannot Crush the Ephemeral Dreams of 12-year-olds, dreams of becoming pro over online multiplayer games, I will not play it because I do not want my soul shattered in retaliation from these same kids.
You know what? I will tell those kids to buy a Gears of War game, and you can get into a Gears of War tournament just online. You can just start it. You'll see other people, how good they are, and you will put down the game and never play it again. Yeah. Or you can just play multiplayer and have fun with your friends.
Hey, there you go. I like that idea. So anything else?
Yeah, I mean, hey, actually, that's speaking of a game that you're actually good at. Gears of War Judgment.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, because you can kill someone at far with a lancer.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, before Gears of War 3, 2, 1, whichever one you want to choose
I'm not really a melee guy, and I'm not really good with shotgun.
Exactly.
Well, at least I'm not good with a shotgun in a third-person game. I'm better with a shotgun in a first-person game.
In Modern War, in a Call of Duty. Yeah.
It's just, for some reason, third-person shotguns, I can't gauge the distance correctly.
You actually lived... sorry, I can't read.
So yeah,
I was like
Judgment there.
I thought someone said they lived Judgment.
I saw young Cole train.
Judgment was a great game. I really hope Epic makes another Gears game. Well, I shouldn't say specifically. Sorry. I want one for Xbox One.
Well, yeah.
I want a Gears game I can play on the Xbox One. That's what I want. But I probably won't get it.
But yeah. You didn't play anything else? You play anything on your backlog, as the chat is referring to? Anything that you haven't played? Because you've been on this achievement hunt, so I'm assuming you've been digging some old stuff.
That's right. I am on a plan to get to 75,000 gamer score before the Xbox One launch, which is on November 22nd. I'm actually getting a little behind. Because I've been busy on my days off, so I haven't really had time to do that. My score right now is, I want to say, around 69,000.
69K?
Which means I have another 6 to go, which isn't much, but when you think about how much you have to play each day, and you actually do have to get the achievements for.
Yes.
Right now, I think I'm actually gonna just like bomb out Fallout 3 and just get all of that again.
Bomb out Fallout 3.
You know it.
That's really funny.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's at 68K.
Ooh, okay. And that's
bad.
interesting. All right.
You guys are neck and neck.
The reason why I want to get to 75 is, of course, because there's a new tier of Xbox reward program,
which we talked about briefly last week.
Yeah, we talked about briefly. But I want to get up to 75 just because that's the highest tier that they now have. Before it was 25, I want to say, and most people had that, so they decided to raise it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good idea to give your more dedicated players more rewards. I like it.
Hey, you put a fire under this person's butt. They need to beat you now. They have a reason to live.
Okay, well, if you want, you can friend me on Xbox Live at Virtual Frying Pan, and this is Quacker Drill. Virtual Frying Pan is virtual FRYNGPAN.
No I.
Yeah,
so it's
no
Virtual
I.
Frying Pan, one word, no I.
Correct. But I'm really hoping I can pull that off because I really haven't been playing much. I've been busy.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I'm wondering.
Life has happened.
It's disappointing.
Lately.
I have school. I have work. I have other outside activities.
We're at that part in our life where we're keeping ourselves busy, and that is good.
All right, well, I'm going to play more Borderlands 2 with you because I need to get those achievos. I'm almost done with the main game achievements, but I need the DLC.
Yeah.
I fully completed Borderlands 1. Now I need to fully complete Borderlands 2. And that's getting another second season of DLC, so you're going to have more on top of that.
That's a perfect segue into what I've been playing.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
I've been playing some Borderlands 2, as you said.
Uh-huh.
The reason why I started is because at that GTA 5 event, I won $20 worth of Microsoft points, or the artist formerly known as Microsoft points, and decided to use it towards the season pass.
Did you say the artist formerly known as?
Yes. And so I decided to use it towards the season pass for the first bunch of Borderlands DLC.
And that's a good idea.
Because I hadn't done it yet. So
and that means now we can play while you're not here.
Yeah, so that's everything that's been released to this point, except for the most recent level cap increase. That's still 400 points and separate.
Really?
Yes.
Mine was free.
Mine is not, for some reason, unlocked by my season's pass. The first level cap increase is. The second level pass, the one that goes to 71, is not unlocked for me. I only get 61.
Do I have that one unlocked?
I don't know. Do you? You'd have to check the game. But yeah, so
I don't know. I haven't played that game in a while.
But I haven't played
any DLC came out.
Yeah, I haven't played any of the DLC yet because I'm still trying to get to 50 on my second playthrough, and so I'm doing that. Apparently, people are leaving and coming in and all sorts of things. Yeah.
Someone said hi, Brit. Then they said hi, Brit.
Yeah.
Says,
somebody must have entered and left the chat.
No, that's the same person.
Oh,
look at hi, Brit was.
I don't know.
Whatever. That's cool.
Please, by the way, yeah, I said earlier, but if you didn't hear me, please introduce yourself in the chat. We'd love to know who we're talking to.
Yeah, we'd love to talk to you guys every week.
Obviously, don't like your name or anything. You know what I mean. Just
no, hey, what's up?
Hi.
You know.
We want to say hi to our people, our new listeners / watchers. But anyways, so I've been playing some of that, just as a I've been using it as a stress relief game in the last couple days, where I'm just to get things off my mind. I just played mindless Borderlands for a while listening to my iPod.
See, this is my stress release game, so
I'm
gonna get started. Again.
It's no game.
This is the DLC.
But yeah, besides that, I'm gonna talk about Super Hot now. So,
talk about that.
Do you like first-person shooters?
I love FPSs.
Do you like games that mess around with time?
I currently am messing around with time.
But I mean, do you like games?
Is it? Wait. Are you talking about Cooking Mama?
No, no, no. Not that have timers. And no, not time the spice.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah, it's funny. But no, do you like games that have like a puzzle mechanic where, oh no, I have to do stuff to mess around with going forward or backwards in time? Do you like that mechanic?
I do.
Well,
I love Braid.
Super Hot is the name of a, right now, what is a first-person shooter free browser game.
Beta sort of thing,
It's kind of a, yeah, you might call it a beta. It's probably going to eventually become a real product, probably go through Steam, probably get greenlit at some point, or maybe Kickstarted or something.
I'd say Steam.
But right now, what it is it's just a browser game that you can go as long as you have the Unity app, which is free. You can play it through your browser, and yeah, it's a shooter. But the catch is, and here's the mechanic of the game, is that time only goes forward. I have no idea what's going on.
I have no idea.
Time only goes forward when you move. Time freezes, or at least goes very, very molasses slow when you are still.
No, I think it freezes completely.
Well, I thought so too, but occasionally it looks like, yeah, you would see something moving a little bit. You're like, okay, so it doesn't 100% stop?
But it basically gives you Matrix effect.
Yeah, and it works both ways. So the game starts you out real easy by only introducing like a couple guys to shoot and maybe a dude to disarm and stuff. And it's really simple. All you're doing is moving around and shooting. And the dudes are just represented by just giant red stick figure dudes. Not stick figures, but like red
bodies.
Dudes.
They're meant to stick out so you know this is an enemy.
So you're just going around clearing out. The levels are just clearing out these dudes by shooting them. But your bullets only go forward when you move, and their bullets only go towards you when you move. So it's very much like you're strafing, waiting, hiding behind cover, getting out.
I saw a video on it. It looks crazy. You
really
actually
cool.
went on and played it. I like the concept of it where you get to control it. I would say it's an easy FPS because of the fact that you can move, stop, shoot, then move out of the way of their shots, then shoot. But they can make very interesting scenarios.
Oh, for sure. And the game is like essentially a demo. It's only like 5 really brief levels of this mechanic, but it does play around with it sometime. Like one of them has more of a thing where you don't start with a gun and you have to get one from another dude, so which you have to melee one dude and get the gun, shoot out the other ones. One has a counter where you have to just defeat all 9 guys that are in the room. And a level that weirdly looks like a level out of Perfect Dark, but that may have just been me.
Oh, that may have been meant because it's
who knows?
Simplistic.
But yeah, and so like it tries to give you a taste of what you could do if this was a full game, and all the kind of crazy directions they could take the mechanic. It's really cool. So the game's called Super Hot. One word, all caps, if you're Googling it. It's up. I have a link to it if you're interested on the Facebook page, which is FourCredits.com. Facebook.com/FourCredits Podcast.
Yes.
One word. So if you want to check out Super Hot, either Google it or find it there.
We have no idea why it's called Super Hot.
We have no idea, but the game takes advantage of this and just repeats super hot over and over and over again, and it's great. So yeah, check out Super Hot. Besides Super Hot, I also played GTA 5, but we already talked that to death.
Yeah, we sort of did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a jewelry heist in it.
Nice.
So
you already did a heist.
I already did a heist.
Cool. Apparently that's the hook. That's the new deal in this game, is the heist stuff.
It's sort of cool.
It's cool. Now, here's the thing, is I understand that there are 2 ways to approach a heist in GTA 5. There's the cool way and the easy way.
Correct.
Did you do the cool way?
No,
Please.
I did the easy way.
Ah.
The cool way.
I'm gonna do the cool way.
Okay, if the cool way to you is to just barge in with your guns blazing.
No, that's not the cool way.
Then I'm confused then.
The cool way.
Because the easy way is, for mine, you drop knockout gas into the air vents, and then everyone falls asleep.
Yeah.
And you walk in, you grab everything, and go without getting caught.
Yeah, that's way cooler.
Okay, no, that's the easy way.
Regardless, it is
what's
cooler.
What's easy about going open gun, just guns blazing? And
Okay, maybe easy way is not the right way to put it, But did you do it the cool way or the boring way?
Okay, there you go. There you go.
You did it the cool way.
I did the cool way.
Okay, cool.
I'm
going to do everyone
cool,
the cool
not
way.
reckless. There we go.
Yeah.
Cool or reckless.
Because, yeah, apparently, once I heard that, I was like, oh, man, I'm going to do the cool way every time.
And they do an interesting thing. They have, you have a gunman, you have a driver, and you have a hacker.
Right, because of course you do.
Those are your three separate components to pulling off a heist.
Yeah.
Now, some are better than others, and they cost more.
Mm-hmm.
They cost more of the cut at the end. However, the game works interestingly. It's very interesting how if you play with a specific character, you play with a specific person to pull off different heists with, they get better and better and better.
Right.
But their price doesn't go up.
Okay.
So you can start out and you can choose to, do the weaker guys, and it may actually hurt your first couple missions, but they will get better, and they will cost nothing for the later missions.
Nice.
Personally, I went with the higher cost ones.
Yeah.
So the entire game, if I choose to stay with those, I'm not going to be making as much during each encounter,
But they'll be reliable and they'll be awesome.
and they'll get better. They'll cost the same. They won't cost more.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
it'll be interesting. I
Yeah.
haven't gotten to a second heist yet, so I don't know how
how it's gonna change.
the effects will take place on the second one, whether or not they'll be available at that time or not. I'm assuming they're always available.
But yeah, that stuff sounds really cool. I can't wait to get
Actually,
that stuff.
my gunman actually got caught.
Mm.
We were escaping on motorcycles, and he totally fell off his bike.
Huh?
So we lost a third of our money. And,
Wow.
He also fell because I chose to go with a lesser gunman, actually, because they were saying a gunman isn't going to be necessary since you're going to be throwing out gas to
and
make them
stuff.
fall asleep.
So it's not really relying on the shooting at that point.
And then it turns out he falls off his bike. So maybe if I went with the more experienced gunman, he might not have fallen off. I don't know.
Maybe that's the key thing. Yeah, like maybe when they mess up is not really programmed. Maybe it's random. There's maybe several things that they could do to mess up.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So I don't know. I'm liking the game, but like I said, we've talked.
We're definitely
we've
gonna play
talked
more.
the death out of GTA. We're not going to give a review on it this week because
Probably
we want to
next
get
week.
probably another
If we
15 to 20
play
hours
more-
on it.
Yeah, if we play more, we'll definitely talk about more next week. Maybe have a review for you guys. So stay tuned for that. But that's pretty much it. So do you want to move to news?
That's it for all you've played?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those two games.
Right on.
I returned Rayman, so I don't have that anymore.
Hopefully I will be playing the new Halo game for Windows Phone soon so that I can have a review for that. That all depends on whether or not I get a new phone.
Right.
Probably will because my phone's acting up. So, yeah.
Then good plan, then. You should probably fix that.
Well, it's been acting up for about 6 months now. I've just been, dealing with it. So we can hop over to the news then for this
Alrighty.
week.
We have a solid amount of news this week.
Last week was a little smaller, but that's good because we had an event to go to.
So for those of you who are new to the FourCredits Podcast, we're going over the news that happened this week. So this is everything video game related that we think is necessary to discuss since last Monday. So first up, I got Diablo 3 recently came out for consoles.
Yeah.
You've been playing that. You had a review of it. Really liked it.
I did like that game. The only thing I didn't like about it was the fact that there was vertical tear going on in the consoles. And because of that, I had to give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
A lot of cool things I really liked about it was the drop-in, drop-out, where you can just be playing the game. A friend can come over. They can choose to turn on a controller, and without jumping to any menus or anything, sign into their name, and then they can just join your game. They don't have to worry about that. And then they also have a good thing with online where you can be playing with somebody and be at separate maps.
Okay.
Now, it's an interesting thing.
Yeah,
and you can jump to their point by going to what they call you go to their flag and you can choose to jump to that person's location so that you can help them out with that, or you can go do your own shit. So go on. You were talking about Diablo 3.
But yeah, none of this has to do with the news. The story.
No, it was more of just, about what we gave it and why.
Yeah. But one of the things that I guess Blizzard did when they launched the console version is that they changed how a lot of the loot is balanced and how a lot of the weapons are balanced in the game. And apparently this has had effect on the PC version
Uh-huh.
to the point where they decided that starting next year, they're going to shut down the player-run auction house, the real money auction house that's been supporting
I heard about that.
Diablo 3 for the last
And-
couple of years since
yeah.
it's been out. So naturally, some people are really upset about this. Some people have made a lot of money.
No, we got someone saying
Yeah.
good.
But yeah, some people have made a lot of money on that thing, but some people have been totally screwed over on that thing.
Yeah,
Maybe
it sounds like
somebody
our
in our
audience
chat.
is
Um,
feeling the repercussions of it.
And so it's really, really interesting that they're doing this, because this was something that at the time they launched it, Blizzard was very like, this is very forward thinking. This is the future of how we're going to do this stuff in the games from now on.
Mhm.
You know, we tried similar stuff with WoW. I mean, it's an MMO, so it's a little different. But it's like, here, we can make this be a thing that people can enjoy. Like, and Steam has been doing similar stuff. Valve is doing similar stuff with their kind of giving players the ability to sell stuff themselves and earn their own money. So it's interesting for Blizzard to make such a sweeping decision. Be like, hey, we're done with this thing. I mean, yeah, it's a year away, so those of you who are enjoying it now can still enjoy it, but
those of you that aren't, will be glad that it is going away.
I just thought that was really interesting.
Mhm.
Effective March 18th, 2014. So you got till March. Next story, less really important to us as Joe Gamer, but interesting from an industry perspective. So EA's obviously CEO left the company a while ago. John Riccitiello jumped ship. And so they were looking for a new guy, and they finally found him. They hired Andrew Wilson, who had been previously the head of EA Sports.
It's in the game.
Yes. So they did exactly what everybody thought they would. Well, actually, no, they didn't do exactly what everybody thought they would. The rumor on the street for a while was that they were going to hire somebody outside the company. And that did not happen. They hired somebody from within.
Yep.
They gave Andrew Wilson, instead of Peter Moore, the ups.
I was actually a little shocked by that.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Peter Moore.
I thought it was going to be Peter Moore for sure.
But nope, it's Andrew Wilson, so it's interesting. So far, I mean, we don't really know what he's going to do. I guess the first day that this news hit, he wrote some sort of blog post that was supposed to be a personal letter to people, but it was very like...
Okay,
well, that's the thing.
Like personal blog note
That's the
to
thing,
everybody.
is that it was
How do you
supposed
make
to
a
be-
personal note to everybody?
And that's exactly the problem.
Yeah.
Is that it was like titled as like supposed to be to the fans and stuff, but it was very corporate and very stilted and made him come off as like not getting the fans at all, because he just wanted to talk about the business side of EA for a while. And it's just a very weird thing to do your first day as CEO. So, yeah,
Well,
who knows how Wilson's going to do. I mean, we won't really know until their next press conference, so which he will presumably be in charge of.
Yeah,
So,
I
we'll see.
wonder, will we be hearing news about a new Dead Space game coming out? Or,
Who knows?
yeah. Or has
next
that series just completely gone dry? I don't know. They did not throw multiplayer into the third game, which I thought was
Right.
good, because the second one's multiplayer was decent at best. After that, it was just sort of something you never go back to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Dead Space series is a little played out now. I enjoyed it way back when, and now the third game had the ability to create your own weapons and everything, but I don't know, it's lost its initial appeal. I loved it back when it was just terrifying. You know, you play it in a dark room at night,
Yeah.
and if this is your first game, your first playthrough through the game, you know, something happens, you don't know what's going on. Your second playthrough, third playthrough, you know where every odd and end, what's going to come around a corner, what's not going to come out of an air vent, crap like that. It's not as scary anymore, but the first playthrough is. I've been noticing a lot of games are actually losing that scare quality. There are a couple that are keeping it, and I haven't played them yet, but I heard they're good. Like the new, what is that game? Amnesia?
Yeah, Amnesia.
Uh-huh. I want to play that.
Yeah.
And then there is another game which is also sort of being compared to Amnesia, figuring like which one is scarier. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Outlast?
Yes, Outlast.
Yeah.
I will probably be downloading those and playing them this week because I love games that keep me on the edge of my chair.
And those apparently do exactly that.
All right. I can't wait.
Cool.
What else is going on in the news?
Our next story is, so I've been reporting this since it started happening, but so Atlas, Japanese game developer, brings you the Persona series, most notably, and a bunch of the Shin Megami Tensei stuff.
Mhm.
They've been in the news because their parent company, Index, was pretty much going under, was going bankrupt in Japan, and they weren't, of course, part of that, but they were suffering because of it. Well, worry no longer, because Atlas itself has been picked up by Sega.
Mm-hmm.
They bought the company for 14 million yen. Or
Wait,
billion yen, sorry.
Yeah,
That's
billion.
a lot more.
Yeah, no, you should put the B on
Yeah,
there
sorry.
because in yen that actually
It's not that
translates
much.
down
14.
to millions.
Yeah, 14 million is not that much.
No,
14
that
billion
would
is.
translate down to to thousands. So,
US $141 million.
like I said, it translates down to millions,
Yeah.
whereas millions would translate down to thousands. So okay, that makes much more sense.
But yeah, so that's good for Atlas. I mean, yes and no. I mean, Sega as a publisher hasn't been really impressive, and they don't really treat other people's properties with much respect. So,
but that being
we'll
said,
see.
they do have a new Sonic game that's coming out that does look new and impressive.
Yeah.
It took
But that's our first party
like,
stuff, though.
It looks like I know, but I'm saying like as a company where they're going, they haven't really done anything that's really mind blowing in a while. The new Sonic game, however, does look impressive. It looks like they took a lot of notes from Super Mario Galaxy, and they're sort of building it off of the 3D world sort of wrapping around stuff.
Yeah.
And I really hope that the Sega turns it around because lately they haven't been very good. They've sort of been just doing like crap games that'll come out for like a cheap amount. You know, parents will buy it for their kids, but that's about it. I don't know. Nintendo has basically been doing that as well.
Speaking of Nintendo.
Yeah?
Our next story is about a couple games that Nintendo announced this week, with names that are very familiar, but with pricing that will surprise you.
I'm going to hear Mario Party in that?
No.
Mario Kart?
No.
I will hear Super Mario.
No.
I will hear New Super
You're
Mario.
never going to guess it.
Wait. Star Fox.
No.
Let's go
You'll be
with...
here all day. Just wait. You're literally never going to guess it. Wii Fit.
Oh. The game that was supposed to come out at launch of the Wii U in November?
Wii Fit and Wii Sports
Resort?
are getting sequels on the Wii U. Not Resort. First I'm going to talk about Wii Fit, because Wii Fit is probably the more interesting one. So Nintendo is doing a new Wii Fit for Wii U.
Well, we've been hearing about this since E3 2012.
Alongside a new peripheral that will be... it still uses your balance board over there.
Yes.
In the corner, sitting right there.
But there's another
accessory.
Besides the pad itself?
Yes.
And the Wii... Okay.
That
what
is
else
called the Fit Meter.
Is it a heart meter, like, thing?
It's more of a step meter, like a pedometer.
Oh, okay. To travel yourself throughout the day, and then when you come back to Wii Fit, you can track what you did that day?
Yes, it says it measures steps, but it also measures the intensity of steps for running, walking. Wearers get credit for climbing stairs or walking uphill. All these data points combined provides users with an accurate overview of their day's activity, including a detailed calculation of the number of calories.
How does it calculate you going up a hill?
I assume it works the same way that the Nike Plus stuff works. I don't have one personally, but I understand that stuff tracks that stuff as well. But anyways, that's not the most interesting part about this.
Okay.
The most interesting part about this is Nintendo is selling it free. Yes, 100%
free
free for the first
game?
month. Yes. How this works is that if you have a Wii Fit balance board,
which I do,
and you have a Wii U,
I do,
you can download it between November 1st and January 31st and on the eShop, and it will be absolutely free.
Hot dog.
Except for the Fit Meter. The Fit Meter is $20.
Okay, well, I liked Wii Fit.
Then you can sync the Fit Meter to your game. And yeah, just straight up works.
I didn't play Wii Fit 2, but I played Wii Fit, and I enjoyed it. But hey, a free game plus, I guess, something that can help to lose weight. I don't know. That sounds interesting.
But yeah, you can pretty much do any of the stuff that doesn't involve the Fit Meter.
I think this is a really smart move on Nintendo's part to put out a free product that can then give you a better product if you purchase a $20 device.
Yeah.
I like that.
So yeah, and it'll also be released in stores. There's a $49, sorry.
Space Cowboy?
I don't know. I think they're talking separately, and we can't see it. So they keep saying hi and bye to people that we can't see.
I guess, probably.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Anyways, there will be a box copy version of this game. It will be $50 for the combo pack with the game and and the Fit meter.
Okay.
There will also be one with a balance board that will be $90. And the Fit meter will be separate for $20.
Well, I'm glad I only need to purchase the meter for $20, and I will test that out.
Yeah.
I will be picking that up so that I can test out the entire Wii U Fit. Or is it called Wii Fit U?
I don't know.
I would love it to be called Wii Fit U. Because
We Fit You.
We Fit You.
Well, so that's Wii Fit. They also announced Wii Sports Club, which is the new Wii Sports
Wii
game.
Sports Resorts, but everything will be indoors instead of outdoors.
No.
No?
More specifically, the game is more similar to the original Wii Sports.
Okay.
It is initially launching with boxing, baseball, and golf.
Ew.
But here's the thing.
No tennis?
Instead of... No tennis at launch.
What's wrong with them? Didn't they realize that was...
Oh, sorry. Tennis and bowling.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
okay.
I missed that.
Okay.
Tennis and bowling are first, and then boxing and baseball and golf are going to follow.
Okay. That makes more sense.
But yeah, and so... but the weird part about this is how they're doing the pricing. Nintendo once again being weirdly experimental with how they're making us pay for games.
Because they're losing money like crazy on the Wii U.
Yeah.
They're trying to make you come to the Wii U for all this shit that's like free or discounted. What will this be?
So the game as a platform is free.
Yay!
However, you cannot play any of the games with just the platform.
What?
The games are sold $10 each.
Oh!
There's a catch though. If you pay the $10 for the individual games, you get to play them forever. The other option is that if you pay $1.99,
you can
just
play a
$2
round of something.
No, you will play all the available sports games on the platform for 24 hours. So a day full of playing for $2. Or buy them permanently each a la carte for $10.
Oh, that is so terrible.
Basically, it's taking advantage of the fact that a lot of people that bought the original Wii Sports only played it on holidays with their family.
Correct.
And thus, they're not incentivized to buy them forever.
Nope,
but
pay the $2.
$2 for a holiday, say Thanksgiving, you got all those games for $2 for the only day that you're going to play it all year.
I don't like.
Because it's not for you. That's why. This pricing is for people that are not us.
See, I want to see more use out of my Wii U. I'm disappointed that games such as Bayonetta 2 are not out yet, so I don't get as much gameplay out of my Wii U. That is an exclusive game. Right. So that was one of my main reasons for purchasing a Wii U, was for the exclusive games that were available for it, and no other console. So I felt Bayonetta 2 was definitely worth it because I loved Bayonetta 1. Well, Bayonetta, I guess I should say. I don't know. Should I put the 1 in front of it since the 2 is coming out?
I guess with the Xbox we can't do that anymore.
Because
the Xbox One is not the Xbox One. But anyways, moving on. Oh god,
dude, I would love it if they went with Xbox One. They went Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox One 360. Just to confuse people like crazy.
I just want the one after Xbox One to be Xbox 2.
TOO.
That'd be really funny.
TOO.
Xbox 2. No, that sounds like the kids version that they launched later, 3 years into the
the arcade edition.
Yeah, something that has no hard drive and is for kids. The Xbox 2.
4 gigabytes of hard drive.
Yeah.
Who the hell buys a 4 gigabyte hard drive Xbox and doesn't fill it up within 24 hours?
A lot of people probably.
Really?
Yeah, people that don't buy games that are bigger than that.
But if you buy games,
then
they're just discs.
Some arcade games are way smaller though.
Okay.
Anyways.
Technically, because of GTA, I now have 94 gigabytes available on my 320 gigabyte console.
When I installed it...
That was 15 gigabytes install.
When I installed the PS3 version, it was only an 8 gig install. Because the rest is streaming off the Blu-ray. Yep.
So yours was smaller than the Xbox?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's designed that way.
And I decided not to install the Play Disc because of everything I saw online where it would actually ruin the frame rate of the game because everything would load and appear I don't would you say suddenly or would you it would do the Clay effect, as I call it.
where textures wouldn't load in.
Correct.
Got it. Speaking of Grand Theft Auto 5, this is probably the last time we'll talk about it today, but big news for that game this week. Well, it came out last week, but after that, Take-Two wanted to make sure we all knew how much money it made.
$800 million.
$800 million.
Oh, seriously?
Yes. I've seen this story before.
No, I haven't.
$800 million was the first day sell-through number for Grand Theft Auto 5, the highest in GTA history.
Dude, I seriously didn't see that story.
Yeah. $800 million in 24 hours. Now, of course, when this number came out, everybody started freaking out, said, oh, Take-Two's making all this money. Well, guess what, guys?
How much?
You guys don't know how video games work, because that's not how it works.
So much spreads throughout so many different places that 2K doesn't even make half of that.
That is also true, but also, they spent a lot of money to make this game. This game was reported to be the most expensive game ever made. So it's going to take yes. That was a number that also Take-Two was.
What was the number they put out for that?
I didn't see the number, but they were going around bragging, it's the most expensive video game ever made, and stuff like that.
Well, of course,
yeah.
I would like to point out, not really newsworthy or anything, but it's sort of something I noticed just by myself, is that we go to midnight launches at the Microsoft store all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's fun. This one, for some reason, had the most, not in any racist way at all, had the most black people there.
It was the most ethnically diverse launch event we've been to.
Let's say every other one was just like white people. There was the token. there was the token black guy.
You got called out as racist.
I did say before that, not being
racist.
Not being racist.
He is offended.
She.
Anybody.
Not being offended. No, I'm not being racist at all. It was more of an observation that the audience, the crowd around the midnight launch of it, happened to be more prevalent. I don't know how to put it, but let's just say I went to Modern Warfare. I went to Black Ops 2. I think there was like maybe one black guy there.
Okay, well,
it was all just like white, like 15, 16-year-olds.
I think
like
it's a combination of things. The chat is loving this, by the way. No, I think it's a combination of all sorts of things. Like, I think the first thing is you're going to get a wider variety of people, the wider that the influence of a game is. And GTA sells a lot of copies, as we just reported.
And I would like to point out that the very first main character you play with is black.
Correct. That's accurate. And
that is an accurate statement.
So it's like, I mean, it's a combination of that and the fact of, it's representation in video games. You're more likely to relate to things that are played with a character that resembles you.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that. The fact that you're more likely to play as a black character in a Grand Theft Auto game than you are to play as a black character in a Modern War or Call of Duty game.
Oh yeah, no, I 100% agree.
I don't like that.
And I 100% agree. There is a white majority in video games because there is a white majority in people making video games. It's the same problem in Hollywood. It's the same problem in most media. Is that representation is going to be biased as long as the people who write them are of a certain thing. And because white people are writing these
That being said, I don't want to go on to like some crazy rampage of like being a feminist where females need to be in games or, necessarily you need to put a black guy in this game because there isn't one.
Right. I mean, ideally we should be in a situation where we're encouraging everyone, no matter who you are, to make video games, and then that way we wouldn't have to have this conversation.
Okay, yeah.
That's the idea.
I would say, at least just because, it shouldn't be that difficult. Throw an Asian guy into a game, throw a black guy into the game, throw a white guy into the game, throw a girl into the game. And then after that point, you can make the other characters whatever.
Right.
Just because. Yeah. That way it can relate to more audiences. I'm surprised more games don't do that.
Yeah. It's for all sorts of reasons, but it's like, I still think that the main reason is because people, it's the old classic cliche, write what you know. It just so happens that most writers are white. And so they write what they know.
But more artists in the game industry are Asian.
This is accurate.
See?
But they're being told what to do by the producers.
By the white people.
Yes. So that's why we have this cruel cycle. But yes, no, I think I'm glad we talked about this because it was actually surprisingly progressive and surprisingly we actually figured this out. But yeah, so no, I think that that's a major point is that people are drawn to they want to control somebody who resembles them. I 100% see that.
In a game that it's not necessary for it to be one specific race or culture, I don't see why they don't throw it in there in order to build a bigger audience base.
I mean, I feel like Borderlands did a good job of this.
Gears of War does a great
the
job.
Original,
Gears of War throws female, black, Asian, white people, Pacific Islander.
Yeah, they're all
It throws everybody into it.
Yeah, Gears did a good job. Borderlands did a good job.
White surfer dude. Guy that looks like he belongs in a motorcycle gang. Guy that looks like just an average Joe.
Coltrane.
Yeah, Coltrane. Woo!
And there we go.
You know, whatever. You did that on purpose. You did that so I would.
I was setting you
up.
But yeah, but anyways. Let's probably move off of this subject. But yeah.
Oh yeah! Okay, so anyways, we're going to move on to the next news story that we had
just
available.
Jump to the next news here. So, Dark Souls 2.
Woo! I'm actually very excited about this game because I finally got into Dark Souls 1, even though it is like the most impossible game out there.
Well, are you excited for March 2014?
March 2014 is actually looking very impressive.
Are you excited for March 11th, 2014, which is also my 24th birthday?
Is that the launch date
That is the release date of Dark Souls 2. My 24th birthday. March 11th, 2014.
I guarantee you I'm not buying that for your birthday because you will play it for 5 minutes and that's it.
No, I know Dark Souls. That's not a game for me.
No.
No.
It is a Dark Souls. Dark Souls is a game for people that want to play something and then hate it. It will destroy them, and then they will go back to it because they want to die more.
Yep. It's for masochists.
Yep. Hey, wait a second.
Okay, it's for people who enjoy crazy hard challenges. Let's put it that way.
Yep, which is why I really like Cloudberry Kingdom. And I actually went back and played that recently.
Yes.
I went back to play that more because while it does look insane and super challenging, all you have to do is keep with rhythm and keep momentum, and you're good.
On the hard levels, our next story, Soul Calibur. I like Soul Calibur a lot.
You like it more than I do.
The series has its ups and downs.
Up being Keelik was in 3, down being Keelik wasn't in 4. Or 5.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, the next direction the series is going is an interesting one. It's called Soul Calibur Lost Swords. It's a PlayStation 3 exclusive.
Wait, will there be no characters with swords in it? Judging by the title,
that's pretty funny. They're just punching each other.
No characters with weapons. It's Tekken but Soul Cal.
No. It's called Lost Swords, but there will be swords.
Okay.
And it will be, but however, what is invisible is the price tag because it is free to play. Yep, Soul Calibur Lost Swords will be free to play and will feature a new item discovery and forging system.
What is it with games becoming free to play? Not that wait. Not that I'm complaining. More of how are these studios going to survive?
Here's the interesting part. It will be a single-player game with mission-based campaign.
No multiplayer? Multiplayer you will have to purchase after.
Possibly. It does not mention multiplayer in the story.
I imagine it will pull a Resident Evil 4. 5. Yes, Resident Evil 5. Sorry, wrong game. Resident Evil 5, it will charge you $10 for something that is on disc on the content so that you can play multiplayer.
Hope not. Well, this doesn't mention anything about multiplayer, but it does say, while we're on the subject of paying for stuff, it does say that there will be DLC, paid DLC for this game. However, Namco is taking the high road with this and saying none of the DLC will be required to complete the game and only will offer more choices to the players. So at least they're being reasonable.
Oh, so they're saying there will be downloadable characters.
It's probably going to be downloadable characters, probably going to be downloadable
The way
items.
that they said it right there.
Yeah.
Funny thing, my new fighting game will be on the Xbox One exclusively.
Yeah, you're talking about Killer Instinct.
I am exactly talking about Killer Instinct because I actually purchased an Xbox Live Gold, Day 1 Gold Pass is what it's called.
Yeah.
$60 and you get Killer Instinct free. Yeah,
Right,
with the
sure.
gold. So I was like, shoot, I'm down.
Do it.
Yeah. That game is beautiful and plays so great. I got to play it at GameStop Expo.
Thank you for the segue, by the way, because the next story is about the Xbox One.
Oh,
And
cool.
presumably,
I'm just like pulling these out of my ass
You
for
are.
you. Just, you know,
specifically,
there you
though,
go. There's a segue there.
specifically how you want to orient your Xbox One.
How would I want to orient my
So
Xbox
right now, your Xbox 360
is right there.
is on its side. It is horizontal.
Yes, what they're saying is for the Xbox One is that it is not designed, built, or recommended for it to be upright.
Yep, you can't turn it vertical, guys. So if you were planning on getting an Xbox One having stand up, too bad
Okay,
that they're saying no.
That being said, they should have been doing this all with the Xbox 360 because that is 50% of the reason why you get red ring.
Why it breaks and why your Xbox eats your discs is because
why you get red ring, why it breaks, why your discs no longer work is because you stand it straight up.
Except here's the interesting part, and what Microsoft is saying is the cause for this, and why they're saying is the reason is because they're moving to a slot drive instead of a tray drive. That is the excuse that they're giving. They're saying that the slot drive does not allow vertical orientation.
That is true. The PS3 has not had a single console that goes upright,
No,
and it's been slot driven.
It has. Every single PS3 has been able to be vertical.
Mine's vertical?
You can move your slim vertical.
Maybe it has a more stable
In fact, the
positioning?
original PS3, like mine.
Wait, you have the 60?
I don't have a 60, but I have the original build. I have an 80.
You have
I have a
after backwards compatibility was disappeared,
I have an 80.
and before they built a slim model.
Correct.
Okay.
But mine is still the original build, and you can put it on its side. In fact, it wants you to, because the PlayStation logo, you can move it.
Yeah, that's right. You can rotate the logo. I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
But yes.
I still like my R2-D2 Xbox 360.
Yeah. But yeah, so
I'm gonna miss that.
I just thought it's an interesting excuse for Microsoft since Sony and Nintendo have both been doing consoles that have slot drives and have no problem being vertical.
That's gonna be something I'm really gonna miss with my Xbox 360 when the Xbox One comes out. Is the R2-D2 noise effects?
Only you.
Only
the
me.
Only person that won't.
Are you kidding me? Who's not gonna miss it? I mean, come on, dude. When you turn on the console, it does.
Don't move the mic. Yes, we know. We know what it does.
It's awesome. Come on.
I bet that doesn't work at all on the audio version.
I hope it worked on the audio version. Audio version. Did anyone else hear R2-D2?
No, they're video because they're watching us right now. I mean,
well, no. You do realize I moved the microphone.
I know. I don't know if that's going to work, though. It might be super loud and distorted.
You do know that the live feed is set up with this microphone now, not that one.
I didn't know that we changed that.
I did change that a while back.
Cool.
So they're hearing everything that comes through this.
Awesome. Then never mind.
That's why I was asking the audience.
Cool.
I'm hoping
I don't think they're awake anymore. I think we put them to sleep.
Okay. We need to wake them up.
Let's wake them up.
I don't know. Maybe we need to drink more.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, same here.
So that's pretty much that story. Let me move on to got like 3 more stories here. They're really quick though.
Okay.
Next up is, I guess that we weren't done with GTA 5. There's one more GTA 5 story, but it's really brief. Talking about old Xboxes.
Oh, the Xbox. Not to be confused with the Xbox One, Xbox 360.
The Xbox 360,
okay.
But early models of the Xbox 360. There has been a report that people are having issues
with an
playing playing GTA 5 on older 360s. And when I mean older, I mean the first and second years. So I'm talking about original Xbox 360s, and I'm talking about elite models. I'm talking about both of those.
The one that we destroyed.
Correct.
Which you can see once again as we're describing on our YouTube.
And one that I own as well. And what I'm playing, when I'm not playing GTA on, but I'm playing other games on.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting and kind of scary. And in fact, friend of the podcast, our good friend C.G. Thornton, Star Slayer, was on Twitter last week saying that it happened to her. GTA 5 crashed for 360.
Broke it?
I don't know exactly how severe it was. I just remember
turned it off like yours got the error code.
I don't know. She wasn't really specific about it. But she tweeted that it was an issue, and she was having issues with it. And then somebody tweeted at her with the Kotaku story that just ran about this being an issue for more people.
Tell you what.
So
I will send her a message after this, or I'll send her a text message.
Yeah.
And
ask her
see what exactly happened on her end.
Mm-hmm. So that way we can report you direct from the source about whether or not you should play this game on your original Xbox.
Okay.
It doesn't really come surprising after my recent experiences with my 360. Apparently, modern games are a little much for it to handle.
You gotta wonder, what
Yeah.
exactly did they change between the Slims and the Xbox 360 itself?
Well, one of the things that they did and were very upfront about was the heatsink stuff. And
Well,
the reason
yes.
why we got the red ring issue was
It
because
was
it would
because of the
overheat.
heat sink.
Yeah.
I know, I understand that, but I'm wondering, what else did they change? I haven't really looked into that as to what was the difference between the 360 and the 360 Slim.
I assume fans.
Well, they don't call it the Slim. It's just the newer version.
Well, it was the Xbox 360 S. Is the one you own.
Correct.
The new one, the newest one, the
is
one
S
that
Plus?
is E. The Xbox 360
Extra Slim?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know.
E. So
it's just currently rolling on ecstasy, actually.
Oh my god.
It's the Xbox Ecstasy.
It's seen Molly.
See, that's an ecstasy reference.
I know it is. Why do you think he said it? Drugs, guys.
Because GTA 5.
Yeah, there we go. That's
there we go.
It gives
there
us an
we
excuse
go.
to talk about drugs on
yes.
the podcast. Moving on. Drugs.
I'm sorry.
Something has nothing to do with drugs. So this morning.
Yes.
Valve announced Steam OS.
Yes, they did.
Which is going to be their Linux platform for what will presumably be their Steam box. Which
Do
is
you
their
guys?
console.
Yeah, if you guys don't remember, the Steam box was announced a long ass time ago.
So yeah, it will be eventually a set-top box console that will run Steam games. But now we know a little bit more. Now with the announcement of Steam OS, we know that it's going to be Linux-based, first of all, which everybody kind of saw coming because Gabe Newell hates Windows.
Yes.
Second of all, this is weird because there's pretty much, I want to say around 200 games, that's a ballpark number, that support Linux on Steam. So it's not going to play everything in your library, but it'll play most of the big stuff.
That also being said, I'm a little torn on the fact that you're going to pay 1,000. Wasn't it the digit $1,000 for this box?
I don't think so, no. I think it was probably less than that.
I want to say it was expensive because it was looking at you could buy a computer for that price instead of buying it.
Well,
was it 100? Am I adding a zero onto it?
I don't remember. I accidentally deleted the story, so I don't have it on my phone right now.
I believe though it was an outrageous number for a box that ran Steam, but it wasn't a computer. And at the same time, you're running. Why wouldn't I just have a computer?
So yeah,
and just run Steam on it.
It's a combination of things though. It's like it runs games natively, but it also acts as kind of a stream box from your PC. So if you have your PC in one room and your Steam OS thing in another room, and you want to just stream off your main PC, you can do that. What are you going to look up?
I'm actually going to
look up this price.
Because I believe it is $1,000.
Okay. Well, while you're looking that up, I'm going to go over the last story, which is a sad one. So we lost an important member of the video game industry this week. Hiroshi Yamauchi, who was president of Nintendo.
Yep.
$1,000.
Yep, I told you.
That is just one of the possible Steam boxes. Also, this is a story from March 2013. This is a story from March.
This is true. This is a little late, but that was the first initial announcement. They haven't really said much since then.
Because Valve themselves have not talked about the box that they will presumably make themselves.
Correct, but they originally said it would be about $1,000. That's why I thought, because...
Well, Valve didn't say that. That company that is making that box did.
Yes.
So let's make sure we kind of...
Well, and that's why I was very specific on saying you could build your own computer for that price, because just this January, I built my own computer for $1,300, and it can do more than just play Steam games.
But anyways, we don't still know what Valve has, at least hardware, in mind. But the SteamOS stuff that came out this morning seems interesting, and we'll see where they take it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyways, like I was saying, so Hiroshi Yamauchi was president of Nintendo from pretty much I want to say, the 1960s.
Yeah, it has recently.
All the way until 2002. And
recently passed away.
Well, I already said that.
Sorry, I was looking at
you
the
were
price.
not paying attention.
No, I was looking at the price of the Steam box, but yeah.
I mean, he's an interesting figure because he was pretty much the one who, number one, brought Nintendo out of kind of being a card game manufacturer to a toy manufacturer to a video game manufacturer as it is today. Also brought, all the consoles, all from the original Nintendo Entertainment System to the U.S. It was his decision to do that.
And a smart decision at that.
All the way to the GameCube, Nintendo was led by him. So, I mean, without Yamauchi, I don't think the video game industry would be what it is today.
Agreed. It would be very different because Nintendo has shaped the industry. Yeah. Depending, and then you might say, how much? Well, the Wii itself changed the industry with adding motion control like crazy. The Kinect, I don't think, would really have existed if the Wii did not do so well.
Most importantly, though, the Nintendo Entertainment System established what
video game console is, as a plausible industry.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they made it stay, and it was largely because of his savvy business decisions.
I mean, before then, it was just have your own console that played specific games that didn't have cartridges. You had, the old stuff that most people don't know about.
I mean, there was the Atari 2600 that used cartridges, but that was, it's a completely different beast.
Yeah. Even before then, though, there were many other standalone consoles that played specific, as they called them, sport games, and did stuff like Pong and crap like that. And that was it. There was no way to add stuff onto it. Nintendo really expanded that into being able to play all of this stuff, and they really built the market around it to what we see today.
So our drinks go out to Nintendo as company. We hope they do well.
Improve over the next couple of years. We shouldn't say do well. We should say improve.
I mean, I guess
because they have been sort of on the down end.
The weird silver lining here is that there was a story, I guess, last year, a couple of years ago, I remember reading that was basically saying that a lot of Nintendo's very conservative moves in the industry were due to Yamauchi being such a large shareholder. And I guess there was a lot of situations where they would, go over something with him. Iwata would, current president.
Yeah.
And he would reject things outright.
Because he was stuck in the old ways.
Yeah, I mean, he's a man of a billion quotes. I mean, if you go into kind of like, if you look at his like Wikipedia entry and stuff, you'll see that he had a lot of strong opinions about things. One of the classic things I guess he said was that that he thought that RPGs were stupid because, well, he didn't say stupid, but he said he didn't understand RPGs because he thought they were for lonely people who play by themselves in a dark room.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was very much like he was just of this mind, very, he didn't play video games himself, and he was very proud of this fact. He would outright say that he didn't play the games that he made, but he would...
I would recommend that for someone that creates video games to not play them, because otherwise you will find yourself trying to copy things that other people have done instead of just creating your own.
To a certain extent,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, look at... I would say look at Super Mario's... almost all the games have been innovative.
Innovative?
It's the word I made up, and I am sticking with it and saying it every time. Come on, do we have to say this every time?
Yes we do.
Fine. I made up the word innovative, and I use it whenever I think something is creative and it's invention of some sort. So it was very innovative of him, of the Super Mario series, to, you start with Super Mario 64, go to Sunshine, you go to Galaxy. Everything has its own little twist.
Yeah. I like how he said sunshine, like the guy in the Malibu
commercial. Yeah, Malibu Sunshine. But no, Galaxy by far was the most intriguing, I would say, concept because of the whole round universe.
Yeah, it was neat.
I would say Katamari was the closest thing to sort of do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But Nintendo does creative things.
So I guess my point with that was so maybe if that was true, then this maybe in a weird way frees up Nintendo to possibly be more experimental. But who knows? We won't know for a while probably. you know, as a company, as a business, they probably have a lot of things already in their business plan, you know, coming out.
Well, I would like to see how Bayonetta 2 does.
Yes.
It is a game that was not on the Wii, and the sequel of it is exclusive on the Wii U. So...
That'll be interesting. For sure. But yeah,
Hmm.
so, I mean, we pour one out
For our homies.
Nachi, but, yep. You have a lot of homies. And since we make that reference pretty much every podcast now. And yeah.
I hope someone else out there has seen that YouTube video so they understand the pour one out from our homies. I had a lot of homies,
yeah.
But probably have not.
But yeah, that's it for the news.
I actually want to make that, if you haven't seen the video, go on YouTube and look up How to Be Gangsta. It is hilarious. And a couple things you must like are the Raiders and classical music.
Classical music, really?
Yep. And the shoes. Yep.
Shoes.
Yep.
I like shoes. They're pretty cool. Anyways.
You gotta look that up. It's hilarious.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for the news then. So you want to jump to the very brief new releases?
Very brief. This is actually close to the end of the podcast for you guys. We have the new releases for the week. And they're small.
A handful.
They're small and only a couple of them. I know, right? We've got Armored Core Verdict Day, which comes out tomorrow for PS3, Xbox 360, and PS3 Network.
Not sure about that. I haven't played a lot of the Armored Core games.
Neither have I.
They're like mech games, but they're kind of like, they're more about the, like, from what I understand, there's like some creation element in creating the robots and stuff.
It's a little more in-depth than the average Armored Core game. Then we also have Scribblenauts Unmasked, a DC comic adventure, which is like every other Scribblenauts game, but it throws the entire DC universe into it, which I am actually a little bit excited about because recently I went back and watched all the original Justice League TV series, and I'm sort of on this like DC high right now.
So yeah, if you got this and you started putting in obscure superhero people,
right, I will be able to do that.
They'll show up.
I'll be able to pull Ant-Man on there and crap like that.
Oh yeah, I bet. So they're making an Ant-Man movie?
I did not.
Yes, and guess who's directing it?
Gore Verbinski.
No.
Okay, Michael Bay.
You're never gonna guess.
Okay, who?
I'm terrible at these guessing games. It's Edgar Wright.
Yeah, I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, you would never guess that.
I was expecting somebody
It's his next
bigger.
movie after World's End is he's gonna do Ant-Man.
I loved World's End. I just saw that recently.
It was good?
It was awesome! But anyways, Scribblenauts Unmasked will be available on Wii U, PC, and 3DS.
Yep.
Then we move over to the last big, I should say big.
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
No.
That's not bad.
There are other games that came out this week, but this is the only other big title is FIFA 14, which is coming out tomorrow as well for the Vita, PS3, and PS3 Vita Network?
Yeah, I guess.
Vita Network? I mean...
I did not notice this earlier, by the way.
I believe it already came out, but it's now coming out for other for the Vita and the Vita Network.
I didn't notice this earlier.
What?
Until just now, but that's not the only soccer game. Pro Evolution Soccer 2014, which some people argue is the better game.
Really?
Well, they used to. It used to be the better game. Then EA got their act together. But back in the day, that used to be... So that is also coming out this week.
And then we also want to say, because it will be coming out next night at midnight, and there will be a launch event at Microsoft stores.
Next week.
Next week. You will also see NBA 2K14. Yes, they actually are pulling out a game. NBA 2K14 will be launching on October 1st. And
like basketball.
We will be at a midnight event for that at the Microsoft store. And there's other games to come. We'll talk about... I see what you did there. There's other stuff coming out next week, but we'll talk about that a little bit more then. Unfortunately, we do not have a review for this week, but next week we will have Grand Theft Auto 5, a complete review on it after I will be completing the story mode so that I will have a good in-depth opinion of the game.
I might finally have a Saints Row review, since I'll be getting that sometime this week in a couple days. So I will be able to finish that.
And since I don't have anything going on my days off this week, I will finally be able to play Lost Planet
Lost Planet 3.
3. So I was trying to figure out which one we were on.
The
4
third.
or 3. So yeah.
Just 3.
Lost Planet 3, I will be playing that with all its wonky control schemes and shit. Because that game is different than any other game in existence, really.
Yeah, it's different.
So yeah, that's our
It's
podcast for this
different.
week, guys. We don't have a review for it, like I said. So we will tune in and talk to you guys next week and give you guys reviews and crap.
We will.
And so you can follow us on Facebook.com/4credits.
Yep. Podcast.
Podcast.
Facebook.com/4credits
Specifically because
podcast.
4 Credits is something
Is a
completely
band.
different. I don't want to say don't go to them because, hey, maybe you'll like the band.
No.
But go to 4credits.com, well, 4credits.com as well.
Yes.
Go to that. Also go
It's a
to
website.
Facebook.com/4credits podcast.
If you want to follow us on Twitter, all our Facebook stuff goes up as it follows at 4Credits.
Yep.
If you want to see our YouTube videos, every
Just
once in a while
search
we
the
do those.
channels for 4 Credits,
4 Credits.
and you will find us there.
There you go.
We will be doing more game meta
Game at
glances soon. Maybe we'll even do a GTA one tomorrow.
Yeah, we could.
Hey,
Why not?
And
right?
you know what? Let's do multiple game meta glances
Yeah,
tomorrow.
let's just go crazy.
We're going to go crazy. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a lot of live footage, and we'll be posting on YouTube if you don't have a chance to look at it. So, tune in. And I guess
Like a
we're
podcast.
radio cast now or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
tuning
probably.
in. I feel like the old-fashioned Batman. Tune
Yeah.
in to the same 4 Credits night on the same 4 Credits channel.
Yeah, it doesn't really work.
Yeah, no, it's Credits night on Credits channel. I don't know.
Something.
Well,
Well, regardless, see you guys next week.
see you guys later. Bye. And now we're going to stop the live feed for all you guys watching us on Twitch.
Bye.